Hello and thank you for joining us for news updates with me, Tandy Wemzumara. Pope Francis offered 4 recommendations to the canons regular of the Lateran in his audience with them on Monday at the Vatican, noting they are also helpful for every religious congregation. Firstly, he underscored the importance of prayer as oxygen for the soul and a help not to fall into selfishness and self-referentiality. Then he mentioned community, being brothers, and avoiding at all times the scourge of gossip. Third, he explained how common use of goods, sharing all in community in a wise practice while watching out against the devil who always enters one's pockets. And finally, he encouraged the spirit of service to the church rather than just living for oneself. The country will this Thursday host the high-level National Emergency Response Conference in Lilongwe aimed at tackling the country's readiness for disaster and its response. The conference, jointly organized by the Adventist Development Relief Agency ADRA, Department of Disaster Management Affairs DODMA, and the National Planning Commission, is aimed towards creating dialogue on issues of disaster response. According to ADRA Country Director Dennis Mategenya, among other issues, the conference will attempt to answer questions such as whether we were ready as a country to handle Tropical Cyclone Freddy and whether we have sufficient support systems to take care of the situation when disasters strike. The conference comes barely a month before Malawi hosts the Post-Disaster Review Conference slated for July this year. Justice of Supreme Court of Appeal Lovemore Jogoba has declined to stop the hearing of a 4 billion Malawi Kwacha Cashgate case involving Paul Mpio, former budget director, and 18 others pending an appeal. The accused have appealed against the refusal by High Court Judge Ruth Chinangwa to restart hearing the case after having taken it over from Justice Esme Jombo, retired, and after the court concluded hearing the case. In August 2022, Justice Chinangwa indicated at the end of the hearing the case that she intends to deliver a judgment no later than June 2023. The accused have also raised the question of whether or not the High Court has jurisdiction to hear and determine their case. However, in his ruling, Justice Jogoba said that the court agrees that the applicants are raising serious issues worthy of consideration on appeal, but the court has serious doubts about whether this is an appropriate case in which the proceedings in the High Court before Justice Chinangwa can be stopped pending the hearing and determination of the appeal. According to Jogoba, Mpio and the 18 others had plenty of time to have raised their appeal, and it could have been disposed of had they acted with speed, hence declined to stay the proceedings in the High Court. Police in Balaga have arrested a 39-year-old man on suspicion that he killed his girlfriend, identifying the suspect as Peter Mkutumula, who is also a teller, and the deceased as Ruth Mateuzo, aged 31. Balaga Police Public Relations Officer Gladson Mbumpa says on the particular night of the 18th of June 2023, the suspect was seen quarreling with the deceased just before she was discovered dumped and in agony over various injuries an hour later. The matter was reported to police, who took the victim to Balaga District Hospital, where she died while receiving treatment. Postmortem results from Balaga District Hospital established her death was caused due to head injuries secondary to strangulation, and the body was also found with multiple bruises on the face, head, and body. Mkutumula will appear before court soon to answer a charge of murder, as investigations are underway to establish the motive behind the killing. And And in international news, Ugandan police say they have arrested 20 people suspected of collaborating with Islamist militants believed to have attacked a school last Friday. The head teacher and school's director are among the detained. 42 people, mostly students, were killed at Lubiliha Secondary School in Mpondwe in western Uganda. Many were burnt to death in their dormitory. The Ugandan army is still hunting Allied Democratic Forces ADF militants who have reportedly moved back over the border into Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, where they are based. And that's about what we had time for in this edition of our news updates. But stay tuned to Luntha TV as we bring you more news updates and for the rest of our programs. My name is Tandy Wimsmara. Good afternoon.